The summer transfer window is already open and Manchester United is already heating up. With Champions League football, the man is coming. But here's the thing that nobody is talking about. The squad that got them there is already falling apart. So this isn't just any transfer window, it's the most crucial in a decade. Get it wrong, the progress made last season crumbles. Get it right, and United are genuine contenders. So I'm going to run through my dream signings, and by the end of the video, we'll take a look at how the team could shape up. And make sure to subscribe to DR3 Sport if you're new, because we'll be covering every aspect and all the signings right here. Last season, third in the Premier League, Champions League secured. Michael Carrick walks in mid-season and steadies the ship. Brilliant! But under the surface, Casemiro is gone, Ugarte is expected to follow, Højlund has gone permanently to Napoli, and Rashford's future after his Barcelona loan is completely unresolved. So that is a lot of departures for a club that is about to play Champions League football. So the question isn't whether United are in a good position. They are. The question is, what are they going to do with it? So I've got 5 priority positions that Manchester United have got to get right in the summer. We are going to go through them one by one in order of urgency, and I promise you that by the end of this video, we'll be able to know what a successful United window looks like. Priority 1 is the midfield. With Casemiro joining Inter Miami and Ugarte expected to leave as well, United is completely left bare in central midfield, while expected to play 2 games a week in Champions League next season. Kobe Mainoo is excellent, but he can't do this alone. So United need 2 central midfielders minimum. However, United fans can be hopeful as the club went and got Ederson from Atalanta right before the World Cup started. So that could be a sign of a club that means business this window. So who's the other? Elliot Anderson is a name that has been said. Sandro Tonali, Alex Scott, Carlos Baleba has been a long-term interest for Manchester United. Tyler Adams and Matheus Fernandes have all been on United's radar. So out of those, who is the right one? Elliot Anderson, he's been a very, very instrumental player for Nottingham Forest last season. He's been all over the place. He's been arguably their best player along with Morgan Gibbs-White. But I personally don't rate him as highly as other people in the space rate him. And let's be honest, I think he's going to go to Manchester City. So I don't think United should waste their time on this player. I think he's another Calvin Phillips. I see a Calvin Phillips written all over him. And I think he's excellent in a team like Nottingham Forest, and I think he will completely get burnt up at Manchester United. Sandro Tonali, to me, this is a player that ticks all the boxes. A complete beast in the middle of the park. He's got a bit of everything. He's got pace, he's got power, he's a good passer of the ball, he covers ground, he's got that tenacity that a United midfielder has got to be. He's got a good tackle on him, a very good long-range shot, he covers ground, he's got the right attitude, he's not injured that much. He's the right age that the ownership is targeting with the signings like Brian Mbeumo, Mateus Cunha, Shesko. He's proven. He has played in the Premier League for around 3 years now at Newcastle. So I believe if he could turn up at Manchester United next season, he could hit top levels. The only barrier that I see is that Arsenal also own to him, so I think Manchester United would be in for a huge battle with Arsenal, but I think he's worth it even if we have to outbid the Prem champions. Then there's Matheus Fernandes. He's an absolute baller. He's young. He's got a great physique for his age. He has played in the Premier League, and he's been West Ham's best player last season. And by the look of things, it looks like Manchester United are currently focusing on him, and it looks like he's made Manchester United his priority. So the thing about Fernandes with me is that he's been relegated twice at that age that he's got. So I wouldn't be sure about his standards. Say what you like, but standards are a big thing when it comes to high performance. And at a team like Manchester United, standards are everything. And speaking of standards, it's been reported that he has also a good terms with Tottenham Hotspur, who finished 17th last season. So that's a bit of a worry for me. Then we have Carlos Baleba. was a very phenomenal player in the 24-25 season, but he had such a stinker of a season last season. So I think it's not worth the risk in such a high-stakes season where United has got to get players that hit the ground running. However, he made it clear that United were his preferred destination a long time ago. Terms were already agreed. He's a young bowler. He's a good carrier of the ball. I'm a person that believes that talent doesn't just evaporate. So I think his talent is there, but his head has to be in the right place for him to perform. And another thing you have to consider in this deal is that he'll be one of the cheaper options among all the midfield targets for Manchester United. He'll be on low wages. He's already a bit out of favor with the Brighton coach. So I wouldn't be surprised if he became the third midfield signing at the end of the transfer window, which to be honest is fine by me. Tyler Adams, I don't think we should waste our time on that one. Definitely not coming, definitely not made for Manchester United. And another good shout is Alex Scott from Bournemouth. He's a good player, but I don't think his game fits the current Manchester United setup, because I think he's a player that likes to learn things. So I think his game would be taken out a bit by Bruno Fernandes. So I don't think that's the deal that will get done. Tchouaméni from Real Madrid, hell no. So my pick for the second midfield signing is Sandro Tonali from Newcastle, no matter the price, and maybe a Carlos Baleba as the third midfield signing. Priority 2 is the left side. The left wing is a clear gap. Dogu has played there, but we all know Dogu is a wing back. Cunha has played there, but we know he gets pushed there because Bruno is already in the 10, which he plays. So we've got no specialist left wingers like a Vini, like a Doku for Manchester City, which we need. Iliman Ndiaye has been balling for Everton in the last 2 seasons. Somerville has been one of the best players for relegated West Ham last season and is also balling for the Dutch at the World Cup. So in that position, Somerville is my preferred player. However, I think West Ham's 50 million valuation may be a hindrance, but I think it's worth spending. I think he's worth every penny. He'll come good for that money. And don't forget, we've still got Marcus Rashford, as Barcelona chose not to keep him and instead went for Anthony Gordon, which I think is a crap decision. But every day that goes by, I keep leaning more to the side that we should keep him. I have this feeling that Michael Carrick can get a tune out of Rashford, get him back to his top form. And I think you all know what a focused Marcus Rashford is all about. The downside would be his wages, but I think if he's performing, nobody will be talking about the wages. And also it will make a good story for the upcoming documentary if it all goes well. And I believe that must be on the back of some stupid board member's mind. But that aside, if Michael Carrick can get a tune out of him, there's not many players like him on the left, so I wouldn't be entirely against the idea of keeping Marcus Rashford. Waiting on the Rashford decision is a luxury that Manchester United cannot afford, so they've got to move fast on the left wing position. Priority 3 is centre half, because we've got Maguire, who's always injured. We've got Matthias de Ligt, who's been injured for the entire last season. We've got Lisandro Martinez, who's been injured for 2 years. We've got Lenny Yoro, young, lacks confidence and experience. We've got Aiden Heaven, good player who I believe should be starting more, but is still inexperienced. So I think we need a reliable, world-class centre half. And only one player comes to my mind, Nicholas Schlotterbeck. Good ball player, reliable, has got some pace on him, is the definite threat in the air. So that's the player that I think Manchester United should go all in for. Priority 4 is a left back. Luke Shaw played every single Premier League game for Manchester United last season, but his injury record is what it is. And with the matches doubling next season, United need genuine cover. Dogu has played there, but he's still young and learning. He's been tried out as a left winger. So I don't think it is wise to walk confidently into next season with Dogu and Luke Shaw as your left backs. As far as that position is concerned, I'd go for the Ivorian, Yan Diomande, who's young, exciting, great at his defensive work, excellent at going forward, excellent at taking on players. So that is my ideal signing. However, I wouldn't mind a Rafael Guerreiro, who's also good, but I think his best years are behind him. So Yan Diomande is my pick at left back. The fifth priority is a striker. I think it's obvious that Shesko needs help, needs someone to finish off games for him or to start when he needs some rest. And 2 years of Joshua Zirkzee has shown us that he's not the guy. So I'd go for a Robert Lewandowski for 1 year. I think he's still got a year in him, and maybe another year depending on how he performs in the first. This is a player that would immediately raise the standards. He's a proven winner. He's got incredible Champions League experience, and with us losing the experience of Casemiro, his would come in handy in such a season with such a team that is crying out for experience. Also, he's a different kind of striker to Shesko, so he'd provide a different solution in some games, on top of which he could also be a good mentor for Shesko, as well as reducing the pressure on him. So those are my 5 priority positions, but that goes without saying that the Bruno contract has to be sorted as soon as possible. So over to you, Berada, Wilcox and Co. Do those 5 things and we'll be rocking this season. Miss them and we'll be back here in January asking ourselves what went wrong. One question before you go. Which of these do you think is the most urgent? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely want to know what you think. Like the video if this helped. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you in the next one.